Welcome to the PD Registry and Career Pathway Information for Directors webinar. We appreciate you taking the time to join us today and learn more about the Career Pathway Initiative and information on using the PD Registry as a director in a child care program. Please use the questions box to answer or ask any questions. And if we don't get to your questions on this call, we're going to be sure to create an FAQ and send it out to all directors. We want to just take a minute to introduce ourselves. Rebecca and I work for the Pennsylvania Key on behalf of OCDEL, the Office of Child Development and Early Learning.
I am going to be discussing with everyone the career pathway. And my name is Rebecca Lamar, and I'm the Career Pathways Manager.
And I'm Chris Madden, the Professional Development Registry Manager for the Pennsylvania Key, and I'm going to share information with you on how to apply for the career pathway, how to verify your staff's employment, and reports that you can access as a director. So our agenda for today, we're going to talk about the requirements for STAR 2, 3, and 4 programs. We're going to discuss what a career pathway is and why the information in the career pathway is important for Pennsylvania. And we're going to talk about completed profiles, which actually, when you complete your profile, is the career pathway application. And within the profile, we're going to talk about the importance of adding the employment, the wage, role, and ages worked with, and the importance of uploading all education documents and transcripts, and then how the Pennsylvania Key verifies the placement on the career pathway level. And then we're going to get to some screenshots of reports that you can access as a director.
So what is the career pathway? So as you see on the slide, the picture on the right side shows a map of sorts of individuals that are positioned in different places on that map. And that truly is what a career pathway is. It is designed for career advancement, and it definitely defines a clear point of entry into the field. So the goal of the career pathway is to clearly articulate what qualifications or competencies are needed for each level, and we'll be discussing the levels in the next few slides. And over time, the profession will have a shared vision and understanding of the responsibilities of early childhood educators. So in our early childhood education system, a career pathway allows for early childhood educators to identify their competencies, skills, and knowledge, and then make a plan to advance their role and responsibilities, no matter what setting they might find themselves in. A unified framework like the career pathway also allows for clarity when we have conversations with families and our community to truly understand what they can expect from an early childhood educator. The Office of Child Development and Early Learning, also known as OCDEL, that wants to support and retain the growth and development of our early childhood workforce and build upon their expertise that they already have in the field. In addition, they also would like to attract new professionals so that the needs of Pennsylvania's children can be met. So this is the Pennsylvania Early Childhood Education Career Pathway, and we're going to spend a few minutes to really review what exactly this is and the different levels involved in this career pathway. It's important to note that this is a starting point for the career pathway, and as we continue to grow and we continue to understand different aspects of Pennsylvania and the early childhood educators, there might be some adjustments in the future. At this point, I want to spend some time to clearly define each and every level and give you a clear understanding of what each part is. So when we look at the career pathway, the very first shield and first step is the entry level. Something to think about with the entry level would be to consider a teacher that is new to the early childhood field, but has also identified their first steps for their career development. This did align with the career lattice, potentially in level 1 and level 2, but it is also important to note that if someone is in your program and they might have a degree that is in an unrelated field, which means that they have taken no coursework in early childhood education, they most likely would fit as an entry-level spot as well. As we go through each and every one of these levels, I'm going to spend some time giving you an example of what each level would look like, and then I will also explain a little bit about our plus system. So when we think of level A, that badge clearly states a CDA, and what's important to think about when we're looking at level A is this is an educator that holds a current CDA certificate, which means that it cannot be an expired CDA. If it's an expired CDA, then they would fall under the entry level. So this educator holds a current CDA certificate from the Council of Professional Recognition. This could be also a CTE student or a student that has graduated from Career and Technology within their high school that was also enrolled in the CDA program and has completed and has a CDA credential certificate. With the level A, the roles that would support someone with this level A would be support staff, teaching staff that support children ages 0 to 5 in their settings, and out-of-school time care or school-age programs. Additionally, someone who has a current school-age credential would be a level A, and someone who has a degree and 9 of those credits are in early childhood education. So that is the overview of level A. Now let's take a look at level B. So the level B is a regionally or nationally accredited ECE degree at the associate's level, either associates in arts or associates in science. Additionally, someone with a level B would have an associate's degree or a bachelor's of arts or a bachelor of science in a related field with 18 ECE credits. If an individual has an associate or a bachelor's in an unrelated field, but they have 30 ECE credits, that would also count as a level B. Additionally, someone with an elementary ed degree who has 12 ECE specific credits would qualify as a level B. Level C. At level C, an individual with a bachelor's of arts or a bachelor's of science in ECE would qualify as a level C. The roles that would go with the level C include a lead teacher, a K-3 teacher, teaching staff in 0 to 5 settings, meaning children whose ages are 0 to 5, including Head Start, early Head Start, and early intervention. Additionally, this could be a director, a consultant, a mentor, coach, or a PQuas instructor. Now, I forgot to go over the roles that are associated with level B, so I'm just going to take a step back and review the roles associated with level B. So these roles would include for level B, teaching staff in 0 to 5 settings, including Head Start and child care programs, support in a K-3 or early intervention setting, a mentor, or a director. I think what's important to note about the difference between level B and level A is the degree attainment, specifically in early childhood education. Additionally, when we look at level C, the level C with a bachelor's in a related field having 30 ECE credits. That could also include any field that the educator also has a pre-K to 4 certification. So I know that some of you might have teachers with certifications. If it is in pre-K to 4, no matter what their original degree is, if they have that valid pre-K to 4 certification, they would qualify as a LevelSafe. The next level is LevelD. LevelD is an individual or an educator that has a master's degree in early childhood education. So when looking at master's degree in a related field or a master's degree in elementary education, educators must have 18 ECE credits. A master's degree in any field that has a pre-K to 4 certification would also qualify as a LevelD. The roles associated with LevelD would be a lead teacher, a director, a technical assistant, support person or specialist, a coach, a PQuas instructor with experience and aptitude, a master coach, an instructor, mentor, and this would include adjunct faculty as well. So the last level that we're going to talk about is LevelE, and LevelE is having a doctorate with early childhood content. So LevelE that has their PhD or their education degree in early childhood education is automatically assigned to LevelE. If a doctorate is in a related field but meets the requirements of LevelD, which means that they have 18 ECE credits or they have a pre-K to 4 certification, as long as they have their doctorate, they would be approved as a LevelE. So I want to just talk a little bit about our plus level system. So it is very appropriate that someone who goes through the career pathway might be assigned a level, like a LevelA, and then there might be a plus attached to that. The plus level is a little bit different, but I wanted to make sure to just let you know that the plus system is designed to motivate educators to go from one level to the next level. A plus indicated at the end of a level could be an educator that has completed 12 or more ECE credits toward their next degree, or someone that has made significant progress in the last year, or they're currently enrolled and has completed at least 12 ECE credits. Additionally, this could be a person that has the director's credential, the infant toddler mental health endorsement, the infant toddler credential, the school age credential, or the apprenticeship completion certificate. Plus levels are slightly different because while they encourage an educator to grow from one level to the next, our point is to encourage educators to move up in levels. So as a director or a member of leadership in your programs, I want to make sure to express the importance of motivating your staff not to focus on only getting plus statuses, but to really focus on moving up in their level. So as we continue to talk a little bit about degrees, you can find a full list of Pennsylvania degrees that can count as ECE degrees or equivalencies by visiting the National Association of Education for Young Children's Degree Finder. And you can go into Google and just put in NAEYC Degree Finder, and that will make sure to showcase for you all of the degrees and the programs that are ECE degrees. Additionally, there's going to be degrees that are not included in this directory, but thought to be ECE equivalent. The verifiers that we have on our team We'll evaluate a transcript from this specific program and look for 30 ECE credits as determined by the 2014 Teacher Quality Document 2.0. And that is a resource that can be found on our pakeys.org website. So as we're talking about the career pathway level, Chris is going to go a little bit more into detail about different components of information that is collected on the PD registry. And so I wanted to share with you why we are collecting this data and what does it mean to be collecting all of this information. So when we look at the reason behind collecting data, it's important for us to think about gathering data as a way to increase our understanding. That will help us make informed decision making. We can assure quality and we can provide accountability. So I'm just going to share a little bit of information about data, and then you will see how this fits in with Chris's parts of sharing information about the PD registry. So data collection is essential to make sure that we are truly impacting the systems that we want to be happening in the state of Pennsylvania. Like many states, and there are actually 17 states currently approved to be collecting data at the same level, OCDEL, or the Office of Child Development and Early Learning, is using the PD registry to collect data on the early childhood educator workforce. And we're collecting all of this data so our professional development systems can support them and be more responsive to the needs of the early childhood educators. As we grow in our knowledge of the workforce, the state and the local programs can make informed decisions that help to make sure that there is equitable access and to make sure that our educators are effective for caring for Pennsylvania's children. When we consider what our purpose is, and when we look at the Office of Child Development and Early Learning priorities, we can also use this data to help identify gaps and target specific resources for professional development and workforce support. So I talked to you a little bit about that. So as a teaser to talk about the Professional Development Organization PD Needs Assessment Survey. So if you've been following along with our website, or you are receiving the early ed news, or maybe you've seen in different newspapers or coming out of OCDEL's newsroom, that the process has already started in terms of not only identifying professional development organizations, but making sure that we share with the field who those professional development or PDO organizations are. So we have two. The first one is PHMC, that is located in Philadelphia. That PDO will serve Philadelphia, Chester, Bucks, Delaware, and Montgomery counties. And our second one is the PASHE system, which stands for Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. Shippensburg University is serving as the lead for that, and that PDO will cover the rest of the counties. So the slide that you are looking at right now showcases two different websites for you to go in and complete, not only as a director, but to empower your staff to go in and complete these surveys so that both PDOs know how to plan for their work. So it's truly important, after we just talked about why we collect the data, that you also contribute data on these surveys so that the professional development organizations can use this as a way to make sure that their services and their resources are connecting with the needs in your area and your program. So the PHMC survey is the SurveyMonkey.com/r/ECEPDOPHMC. So if your program is in Philadelphia, Chester, Bucks, Delaware, Montgomery County, you want to make sure to go on to that survey, the SurveyMonkey survey, and fill out that survey. I can tell you that it takes less than 6 minutes to complete. And please make sure that when you go in there, you go all the way through to the end. There's special questions designed for teachers, and there are special questions designed for directors. The other one that is for PASHE, or the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, that one is listed below, and that is if you find your program and your teachers that are not in those counties listed above, that you will want to go to the Shippensburg University's Needs Survey, and that is the tinyurl.com/SHIPECE. So I just want to make sure to let you know that more information is going to be coming out on the PDOs and how they can serve you and how you can get in contact with them. At this point, I would suggest that you keep your eyes open to our website as well as the Early Ed News for more information about the PDOs.
Okay, now we're going to change gears for a minute and talk about actually completing the profile, which is the career pathway application. So I just want to take a minute to talk about the career pathway went live in the PD registry on July 1. So many of you or your staff may have completed the tabs, as you see in the top here, before the career pathway went live in July. So you probably have added your personal, your education, your employment. You might have added professional memberships. But if you did that before July 1, before the career pathway went live, we are asking everybody to actually click the Complete My Profile Career Pathway tab, because it's going to basically walk you through those same screens. But by clicking the Complete My Profile Career Pathway, this is actually the application process for placing you on the career pathway and giving you a level on the pathway. So even if you did complete these tabs before July 1, we're asking that everybody in programs complete their profile by clicking this tab here. And this is going to be a new requirement for the Keystone Star Standards. Now I believe it says that a person just has to register in the professional development registry, but they actually will have to have a completed profile and a career pathway placement. So it's really important that everybody updates their information here. And we also just wanted to make note that it's really important as you're educating your staff on completing their profile that they have all of their transcripts readily available, because those documents will need to be uploaded into the education section. We're seeing a lot of people that have completed the career pathway, but they're being marked incomplete because a person may list that they have an associate's degree and list the college and graduation date, but they're not uploading the transcripts. So the purpose and intent of this process is to not only place the person on a career pathway, but really have one system that encompasses everything and get rid of paper copies at your facilities. So as you're placed on the career pathway, not only can directors see your level, but also the quality coaches and certification representatives will be looking for this information too. So it's not just a one-stop shop for yourself, but others are also looking at this information. So again, we're really encouraging all steps of the application to be completed. This includes the personal information, and there is a field within the personal information to add your PPID number. So if you do take PA Key courses, such as the ERS courses or any courses that were created by Octel or the PA Key, those do get awarded Act 48 credits. So if you have your PPID number in there, that information goes directly over to PDE. So it's really important that you're adding that if you do have a PPID number in your personal information. And then also with employment, it's really important to add the wage, the ages served, and the hours worked. And many people ask, why do you need to know this information? And again, it's for our national data set that we'll be applying for in January. We want to get a true picture of our workforce in Pennsylvania and how it compares across the nation. So people are asking, why do I have to enter my wage information? And again, it's just to collect that aggregate data so that we can, compare it in terms of other childcare professionals across the nation and in Pennsylvania also. And you do have the option to click to opt out to not enter your wage information. But again, we're strongly encouraging everybody to put the information so that we can collect that data. And again, with the age information or wage information, the only person that can see it is yourself. So when you enter the wage, your director cannot see it, a quality coach cannot see it, and a certification representative cannot see it. It's truly, you're just entering it and it's captured in the data system so that we can report out in aggregate data. And again, I just want to make note about the education transcripts. All of those must be uploaded. They can be copies of official transcripts, but the name, date, conferred date, the courses, and the grades need to be listed. And the professional contributions tab is also within the career pathway profile. And this is for if you have any specific memberships that you want to list, such as NACI or PACA. We have a whole list of memberships. And if there isn't, if the membership that you've obtained is not listed in that drop-down menu, you can let us know because we found there's a lot that are missing, so we can certainly add those so that you can upload your membership. But this section is most important for directors as they're applying for the director credential because this they'll add all their contributions in this section. So again, within the application section, the employment section is super important. So for childcare providers, they're going to select the first option to add early care, school age, and education programs. And once they click the select button, you can look up your facility by the MPI or licensing number, or you can type in your program name and a list of programs will come up and you would just have to look for the address to confirm that that is your location. So say, for example, you typed in KinderCare and 50 different sites come up. You just have to make sure that you pick the right location. And once you do that, that's where you're going to enter all of your information, such as your role, ages served that you work with, your wage information. And once you complete that, your director has the ability to go in and confirm and verify that you are actually an employee of that facility. And also, a new feature that will be coming sometime soon is the ability for directors to invite staff. So if you have a new employee that just started, you can type in their email and a link will go directly and you fill out the information about your employee's role, their position at the facility, and the participant or employee will then get an email and they can verify. So that should help some folks add their employment because we know we've had some issues with people completing this section. And this is just a screenshot of the next part of the application for the career pathway, the education section. So people can enter their high school graduation date. There's a section for the CDA and school age credential, completed higher education. So that would be an associate's, bachelor's, master's. You can select which option or which degree you've obtained and add the information such as graduation date, the institution. There's a drop-down menu of all colleges and universities that have been approved by Department of Ed. So you select that information and then you're going to upload the transcripts. There's also a section for teacher certification, credentials such as the director credential, school age credential. There's different certificates located in there as well. CPR and first aid, you do not need to use this section since most people are taking CPR and first aid courses within the PD Registry training calendar, and those completions go directly on the professional development learning record. Currently enrolled is a section for if you are currently enrolled in a degree program but have not completed the degree, you can upload your transcripts here. And then we're not using the professional development outside of the PD registry. Folks can certainly upload the professional development taken outside the registry, but at this time, the PA key is not verifying that information. And it's up to the quality coach to verify that professional development, such as if it was a NACCE conference or a national conference. So once all of those documents are uploaded, then a person can submit their profile, and then that information comes to the PA key. So again, there's two different tabs, and a lot of people get confused about this section of the career pathway. They have to submit and then process the application. So once that happens, the application comes into a queue at the Pennsylvania key, and then the data verification specialists review all of the education, and they're verifying that the degree, the document, the transcripts have the conferred date, the graduation date, the degree name, the ECE credits, and they're calculating that into the PD registry. And once they confirm and verify all that information, it places the individual on the career pathway level. And then the individual will be able to log into their main screen on the PD registry and click on the Reports tab, and a certificate will be generated for you to be able to print out. And we just wanted to make note also that the career pathway profile would need to be updated yearly. And this is just an example of what the career pathway certificate looks like. And again, that's on the Reports tab on the home page of the PD registry. So we wanted to talk a little bit, I know Rebecca touched a little bit on why we're collecting this data. So we just wanted to start with the individuals. Again, it's a place for you to house everything online in one place. So you can track your work history and your employment. You can track all of your education transcripts in one online system. You can track your professional contributions and memberships. You can also have your PD plan and self-assessment in one location. And that is one thing that we are working on as well, because the PD plan and the self-assessment are in two separate locations right now. And we know it's very, it's distracting to have to go to one assessment and then go to the PD plan. So we're trying to streamline that process. So look for those enhancements to come down the road as well. And again, you can track your professional development learning record. We get a lot of questions as well about printing certificates. We no longer have the option to print certificates once a professional development training has been completed. All of this verification is in this one official document. So certificates are no longer issued, and this is the official document that you can use for STARS, for the quality coaches, as well as the certification reps. So for Pennsylvania, we're collecting all of this information in the registry to track education. We want to see how many folks in Pennsylvania have an AA degree, how many folks have completed a CDA, and over time, we want to see the progression of how many people have moved from one degree to a higher degree. And we also want to track the wage information to see the consistency of wages across the state and what the wage increases are after a degree is attained. Also, we can track employment and program information. So if we need to find reports on specific STAR levels, like if we're looking for all facilities at STAR 4, or how many facilities move from a STAR Level 2 to a STAR Level 3, we can track that information as well. We can also report on professional development gaps. If we see that folks are missing a lot of maybe child assessment across the state, we may see pockets of areas where we need to offer more professional development or college coursework. We can track that information. We can track the number of ECE professionals in our field. We're trying to ensure that all ECE professionals are registered in the PD registry. And right now we have about 70,000 ECE professionals that have logged in and registered with the PD registry. And also this helps us, all of this information helps make policy changes in Pennsylvania. So at the national level, we want to show how does Pennsylvania compare to other states? What's our compensation look like compared to other states? What does our education look like compared to other states, as well as the demographics and role, length of time in the field, gaps. And again, all of this information, we're applying for what's called PER, Participant Eligibility Review, for the National Workforce Registry Alliance in January. And all of our information will be collected in aggregate data so that all of this information can go to the national data set with other states to make policy changes across the nation. So again, I just wanted to make note as well, whenever you log into the PD registry and complete a profile for the first time, you're signing off on a privacy agreement, and this just states that we can use all of this information in aggregate data to inform and make policy changes. So your name is not shared in your personal information, it's strictly in aggregate form. So this is just an example from the national data set that came out this July, and this is what we're working to apply for in January. So they're collecting all kinds of information on the employment, the education, wages, and this is just one section of the highest level of education that they have captured across the nation from other states with folks who are registered in the PD registry. And as you can see, a center administrator is more likely, 44%, to have a bachelor's degree as compared to a family childcare owner who is 42% more likely to have an associate's degree. So it just gives you different perspectives on the degrees attained and what we can do to encourage folks to obtain a higher degree level. So what can directors access? So most of you have probably already claimed your organization profile in the PD registry, and once you do that, you will be able to log in and you'll see your name up in the right-hand corner, and just below your name you're going to see your child care program name, and that's where you're going to find all of your information about your staff, your program, and the ability to pull reports within your program. So you would just click on that tab and it's going to take you to your organization profile. So within the organization profile, you have an employee list. So once your employee attaches their employment during their profile and career pathway placement, they're going to attach their employment, and then you can come to the employee list and you can update that information and verify that that is the correct hire date, their role is accurate, and the information that they've shared is accurate, and you can approve and mark completed. So quality coaches and certification reps also have the ability to do this, but we're asking that all directors do this to save time for the quality coaches and certification representatives when they come into your facility. So they can take a quick look at the employee list and see that everybody has been verified by the director so that they can move on with the other reporting capabilities. And then also there is the ability, you see the current employees tab, you can also go to past employees as well. If your certification rep or quality coach needs to see a list of past employees, they can see that list as well. So the two reports that you have access to in your organization profile are the staff reports and the staff detailed training report. And again, both of these reports are also available to the quality coaches and the certification reps. So we're going to go to the next screen and I can show you more in detail what they look like. So the staff list report is going to show all of your staff members that are employed at your facility. It's going to show their position. If they've added their employment, it's going to show their position, and once it's verified, it's going to show up on this list as well. It's going to show their start date and the verification status, meaning that you have verified that they work at your facility. It's going to show whether or not they've completed the PD plan and self-assessment. And this is another item that we're working on for an enhancement as well, because right now the report just shows that your staff have completed the PD plan or self-assessment or need to complete it. But we're working on a plan so that these the PD plan and self-assessment can actually be in the learning record, so you can pull this information as well. because right now staff are having to print this out for you to view, so we're trying to make it easier for directors as well. And again, if they have been placed on the career pathway, their level will show here, as well as the expiration date, so you can tell when they need to renew again. And if somebody has a director credential, that will also be listed here. So you have access to this report, and then quality coaches and certification also have access to this report. So really the goal is for the quality coaches to come in and see that all of the positions are listed, all of your employees are listed, and all of this information is current and up to date. So the next report is the staff detailed training report. And I just want to make note, because we get a lot of questions about this too, is that you can change the date range at the top because it defers to a 1-year time period from the date that you're looking at this transcript or the learning record. So you can adjust the time period. And this is a running record of all of your staff in your facility and all of the professional development that they've completed. And we've also separated out the STARS 101 and 102 sections, so it's listed under the STARS required. So you can take a quick glimpse to see that all of your staff members have completed those required trainings. And this is also the section where you're going to find the CCDBG 10-hour health and safety course as well. We thought it was really important to separate this section out so that you didn't have to sift through all of the professional development that each person has taken, so that you can quickly glance in that section and see that those have been completed. And you'll see the hours listed and that it's been verified and the completion date. If you do see something that is not verified, that just means that the trainer has not gone into the roster to mark the individual as verified for completing the training. And I also just wanted to make note, because we get a lot of questions about this as well. We do have the option for directors to register staff for training. So we have a lot of times that directors will log into the training calendar, find a training that they want their staff to take, but when they click to register online, you click on register myself or register my staff. And a lot of times directors are only seeing a partial list of their staff, their employees, and that is because the other staff members have not added their employment. So it's really, again, important for everybody to add their employment. So as a director, you can come into a training, click on register staff, and register all or just a few of your staff members. So if you're not seeing folks on that list, it's because they have not added their employment. So we're going to take a few minutes just to take a look at the questions box, answer a few questions. If we don't get to your question, like I said, we will put together an FAQ and send out the FAQ to you, as well as the PowerPoint. So we'll just give you a couple minutes to ask some questions, and I can go through and answer what is already up here. Will the PowerPoint be available to us? Yes, Rebecca and I will put together the PowerPoint as well as the FAQ and send it out to everybody on the call. This webinar is being recorded, and we will post this. We usually post the recorded webinars on our Facebook page, the PD Registry, and we also post it on the PA Keys website at www.pakeys.org. Rebecca, this is a question for you. If a person has a middle school degree, would they fall in level C?
So I think that it's hard for me to answer that question because we would need to see the transcript. So I would encourage you to provide those transcripts as part of your profile completion, and then a verifier that we have on staff would be able to fully evaluate them.
And that would be a degree where we would be counting credits for that degree, and then depending on the number of credits earned, it would place you on a specific level. Can you repeat the name of the document on the website, the NACCE Degree Finder?
So there were two documents that we talked about in the career pathway portion. One of them was the NAEYC Degree Finder. I would encourage you to just put that in your web browser or Google, and it's the first one that comes up. The other document that we talked about that is housed on our website is the Teacher Quality Document 2.0, and that is actually found in the pakeys.org website. You can go in the search box and actually search it up in that capacity.
The next question, will we be able to get the career pathway slide as a reference? Yes, actually right now if you go to the PAKeys website at pakeys.org, you're going to click on professional development. It's the green tab in the middle of the screen, and you can scroll down to career pathway, and the career pathway slide is listed there, and it can be printed as well. The PHMC link isn't working. We'll have to check on that one, the link within the SurveyMonkey.
Okay, thank you for that. I'll follow up with that.
Can a director upload a transcript for their staff? No, we are requiring each individual to complete their own career pathway because to get to that step, you need to log in as an individual with your own email and password. So directors are not able to upload that information for their staff. Is there a difference in a school age and director credential? Yes, the school age credential is specifically geared towards school age teachers and a child care program, and the director credential is specific to directors working in a program. Can a director see the career pathway of the staff assigned to their center? Yes, actually you can look at this in two places. If you go to the employee list, once you verify employment of the staff member and they have been placed on the career pathway, you can see it under the Employees tab within your organization, or you can go to the Reports tab and click on the staff list, and that's going to show the career pathway placement as well. So again, that's two different locations. The employee list will show the career pathway placement, and the staff list under the Reports tab will also show that. And if they haven't been verified yet, it will just show that they've applied, but it will not show the level. Can the career pathway level be used for documentation for ERA? At this time, the career lattice is still being used for the ERA. The documents that are uploaded within the Education tab can be used, but the actual career lattice is being used for the ERA at this time. Can a director access and print the career pathway certificate for all employees? At this time, no, but that is a great suggestion. Again, we always take suggestions from directors and staff at the PAKey to enhance the system. So at this time, only an individual with their certificate can print out the certificate, but thank you for that. I'm trying to add my PPID number, but can't seem to find a way. If you have questions about adding your PPID number, if your profile is already set up, you can contact Registry at pakeys.org and just let us know your PPID number and your information, and we can enter it for you. Is there a way to enter work history for centers that may no longer be in operation? If you were employed in that facility, you should be able to still add it, but no one would be able to verify it. It would have to be a certification rep or a quality coach. But that information does come over from our Pelican feed. So the facility is most likely in that feed. So yes. We need certificates for my employers because we are required to get 40 hours of training per year. We no longer offer those certificates. Your professional learning record is the official document to show proof of your 40 hours of training per year. And the certification reps and quality coaches are also looking for that document. So again, that goes with the next question, how do we prove trainings were taken? Again, when you log into the PD registry, you're going to click on the Reports tab, and the Professional Development Learning Record is located within the Reports tab, and you can print that off and it will show all of your PD taken through a period of time. It defaults to 1 year, but you can go back as far as needed. What do you do if your training are not listed, but the staff did take them? If there are any discrepancies about training that is not showing up on the professional development record, again, just please email us at registry@pakeys.org and let us know all of the information, the individual, the registry ID number, and what training they took, and we can take a look behind the scenes and see why they were not marked completed. Sometimes we have to contact the instructor for verification, but just send us an email and we can look into it. If a training is not marked verified, should the trainer be contacted to ask them to verify the training? Yes, a lot of times people will contact us and say that the training was not verified, so we can reach out at the PA Key to the specific instructor for them to make the verification. If it's an online training, such as a PA Keys online training, the PA Key staff members can go in and mark you completed. How do I change a position of a staff member? Must they do that themselves? You can deny their position, and then the employee will get an email saying that it was denied, and then they can change the status of their employment. Again, we're hearing that the SurveyMonkey is not working, so Rebecca will take a look into that, and we will be sure to send that information out with all of our follow-up information. How can I correct a person's staff date? You should be able to do that whenever you go in to mark the individual as verified. You should be able to edit their start date. Somebody is showing that their Selfpaced WETA trainings are not showing as verified. Again, just shoot us an email and we can take a look at that for you, because those are online courses housed within our registry. When should the PASHE survey be completed? Is there a deadline?
So we are trying to collect all of those surveys before December 20th. They still might be live after that point, but it's important to get those in as soon as you can, because the professional development organizations are working currently on their work plan, and if they don't have your data, then they're not going to be able to reflect that in the work that they are going to do.
Approximately how long is it taking to verify degrees and transcripts? Right now, our verifiers are verifying about 400 a week. We usually say between 2 and 3 months, but it's going a lot faster at this time because not everybody has completed their profiles. But as more folks are getting in and adding their applications, that process is going to take a little bit longer. But at the maximum, it would be 3 months. What is our Facebook page? It's the PD Registry. And again, with our Facebook page, we put a lot of information, like if we have new online courses that we're offering, any updates to the PD Registry for directors or staff members, trainings that are available, important information about the career pathway. So there's a lot of good information that you can gain through the Facebook page, but we also offer information on our registry buzz as well as early ed news. And it looks like we're running out of time, but we are going to be sure to save all of these questions, and we're going to answer these for you and send out in an FAQ. And again, at any time, if you have additional questions, you can email us at registry@pakeys.org. Our help desk staff and admin are here to help you. We answer tickets within 24 hours, and no question is too simple. So please use the email to ask any and all questions, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And Rebecca is going to be hosting another webinar on January 23rd from 1 to 2 with a more in-depth look at the career pathway and to answer other questions. And again, that will be recorded because we know your time is very valuable and important, and not everyone can be on the call from 1 to 2. So be on the lookout for this next webinar coming out sometime in the near future. And again, we'll keep the screen up for the Facebook page and information on our website and the email that you can email us with any questions. And we really thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to work with us today. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.